Hello everyone. Okay, so today what we are going to do is we are going to create an SPFx web part. Okay, so in my previous video I have shown you how to create an SPFx extension, and this banner that has been created or header is through that, right? So in this video I'm not going to tell you about the Node.js install, right, and all other. I assuming that you have set up the environment, and if not you can go and watch that video where I've created the SPFx header or banner, right, that tells you how to set up the environment and what tools you need. In this we are directly going to go ahead and create an web part. Previously we created an extension, application customizer, header, right? In there I've told you how to create an alert as well, right? In this, so this is going to be a two-part series in the sense, first I am going to show you. So this is a web part that you see in this yellow color, right? Absolute URL, title, relative URL, username, right? So it will pull out the current site URL, the title of that site, the relative site URL, and the user who's logged in. That information will be pulled out. So this web part, this is created through the framework. No JavaScript framework was used in this, right? And then the same I am going to tell you how you can create the same thing using the React framework, right? So the first part is going to be no JavaScript. In this video we are going to create that no JavaScript. Through no JavaScript, how we are going to have the web part. And once that is done, then in the next video I'll tell you to create the same exact thing using the React framework, right? So that a comparison between the two can be done, and we'll see why React is to be used, or why you can use a simple no JavaScript framework in what cases. Okay, so let's get to it. So first let's create a folder. So we are creating everything within this dev folder. Okay, so we are going to create a new folder named as demo, and inside this we are going to have one more folder, no JavaScript framework web part. Okay, so now let's open command prompt. Let's go to that location of our folder. Okay, so we are at the location. So if you go and see the previous video of you, or if you have already seen the previous video, you'll know the first command that we have to run when the environment is will be yo space at Microsoft/SharePoint. So this is going to give us the wizard, right? Here it is. What is the name of the solution? So we are going to keep it the same name. What we are creating, web part extension. So previously I've informed you extension, right? In extension there are further four when we created application customizer. So this time we are going to go for web part. Okay, what would be your web part name? Okay, so in this case we are going to call it njf web part. Okay, now here it is. Which template would you like to use? So as I said, this video is going to be regarding the no framework that we are going to use, and the next video will be React. Okay, so now it's going to create the boilerplate and the default one. Let's wait for that to be done. Okay, so we have our web part. it has been created. Now let's open this in our code editor, code space dot, and this gets opened in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so as you can see here, we have our config file, serve.json is there, like enter your SharePoint site layout workbench, right? We've seen previously there's node modules. Now src, so this is the main file that we are going to look into. So it has assets, IOC, and njf web part. Okay, this should have named only njf web part. You see it twice now here. That's all right, I guess. So webpart.manifest.json, webpart.module. So this is the CSS file, this is your TypeScript file, right? So this is the default that we get here, right? If we want to see what it does, what we'll do here is we will do gulp serve. Okay, and we will use our site. Okay, so local workbench njf web part, and this is the out of the box that you get. Well done, right? Welcome to the SharePoint framework, learn more about SharePoint and all this links, right? Web part property value. Okay, so let's go back this gulp serve. So this is the main file, right? The TypeScript file, which has everything except for the CSS file. So CSS file is there. We'll come back to the CSS file, but first let's look into this. So this is nothing, import, right? We are getting the libraries, import I property pane text field coming from Microsoft SP property pane, import, right? Escape, import styles, SSS, import has string. Okay, export, there was only one parameter that was their description, which is a string. Export default class njf web part extension, right? Private, and here we have public render void, and this is the part which you see, right? This is all that we see in our DOM, right? All that code is here. Okay, we have it here. So as you can see, that div class style from CSS. Under this we have welcome as text align center. Okay, header, well done, escape, this context page dot display name, user dot display name. So this is what is pulling my name in here, right? See, so this is what, after well done, dollar opening braces escape, this dot context dot page context dot user dot display name, right? So this is how we can pull the default values, the username, the absolute URL from the site, dollar forward slash braces open escape, then this dot context dot page context, right? And then absolute URL, right? Like that we can pull information. So let's remove this code. Okay, and let's put in our code. So what we are going to take from the styles library, so let's change the css file as well. We are going to have okay. So if you see, njf display is flexbox, text, align center, margin top, background color yellow, font weight bold. For table we have margin top, margin bottom, margin left, margin right, display right, background color is red, border radius and padding 23 pixels. So this is our css file that is done. In here what we changed is, in the public render function, right, in the DOM element we have put our div class styles dot njf, and then we've created a table, right. In the first row of the table we have the absolute url, and as I said, dollar escape this dot context dot page dot web dot absolute url, right. Web dot title, web dot server relative url, and the last one is the same as previously used, user dot display name. This one is extra, let's remove it. Okay, our error is gone. What is this for? styles.njf, what I have named here .njf. Okay, I have not saved this file. Let's save it. Okay, so in the local workbench we have this and we are getting this. Let's see. So this is our DOM. If I remove this, something is wrong. Okay, so I was just not saving the file. As you can see, I just in the css I changed the background to red and the table to yellow, and that is what has happened here. Also this absolute url, I changed that in the code, and instead of picking it dynamically, I've like hard coded it, right. So let's put it back, let's save, let it finish. there we have it back again. So very simple, right? From the boiler code that we get, all we did is we changed nothing anywhere. We just changed the DOM, right? Previously we were getting welcome, right? The username and this was previously getting used as well. Okay, so we removed all that. We created a table. The first row, the entry is absolute, right, URL, and then the title, similarly $escape this dot context dot page context dot web. So if you see, if I right click on this, go to definition, this is where it's coming from, that index internal, right? From the web part, SP web part, you can get URL, the ID, right, is web in the boolean form, language name, logo URL, right? So all this is available in here. If you get go to this user, which is not part of web, see, this is page context dot web, page context dot web, page context dot user, the last one. It goes into the user, and in user you can pull the display name, right? See, class sp user, the display name, email address of that user is anonymous guest, user boolean is guest user in boolean form, and login name, right? All this information can be pulled. So we just pulled all that information and printed in the DOM itself, and that is what you are seeing in the CSS file. I changed everything, and the main part, the background I gave as red, whereas the table that we created, that I gave as yellow, right? Text, borderline, margin, all that other information. So just these two parts in the boilerplate template itself, small part, small change that we did here, and the CSS is giving us the output which you see here. That's it, right? The rest of the part would be same, which we did previously as well. We will build it, we will bundle it, and we will deploy it in the app catalog, and there this web part will be available for us to use, right? So let's do that. Okay, so previously I did not show you, if you don't want to bundle it in the build and bundle in the production, right? You don't use dash ship, and you can bundle and package it as well, but then that won't be available until unless you run the gulp serve behind it. So gulp build, done. Then gulp bundle, see the folders here, we do not have that SharePoint folder yet. And gulp, gulp package solution, and we have the package solution in here. Okay, now see, warning, package solution, this is not the production build, therefore include client side asset settings will be ignored. Okay, and you would have to run this. So let me show you as well. Let's go to the app catalog site. Let's open app catalog. Let's open app for SharePoint, and let's deploy this SharePoint solution. Okay, this is the SPKG file, and if you upload it, see, so this is going to run on the local host, right? The client side solution that you are about to deploy component, the client side solution will make this solution available to all sites that we don't want to do. Okay, now let's deploy. So this solution is now deployed, right? So if we want to test, so here it is. Okay, add. Added successfully. Okay, now let's go to the home page and add this web part. So edit, and this is the web part, and JF web part, no JavaScript. Now see, this is most probably not going to show you anything because this is running on the local workbench, and for it to show you anything, the gulp serve has to be running. See, there is nothing. And now you have the value, right? If I publish it, this page will be published and your changes will be okay. So this is how now we can see this site, right, and the relative URL of this site. If I go and stop the Gulf serve, the web part is not going to load. So this is what will happen if you run this, right, without the production, that is -- ship. Okay, so let us remove this. Okay, I am going to remove this. And from the app catalog as well. Delete. From the site as well, delete. Okay, now now the same process, but this time we are going to do it on the for the production itself. Let's do this now. Gulp build dash dash ship. Gulp bundle dash dash ship. And last one, gulp package solution dash dash ship. We are done. So now I'm going to upload this one into the app catalog. Again here. Okay, so this time it shows us that the client side solution will be get content from the following domain: SharePoint Online, make the solution available to all sites in the organization. And this time I'm going to take that yes and deploy. So since I selected that as yes, I don't have to go and do add an app, right? That will automatically be added. Okay. Okay, so this is the web part. It's already available here. If I, for demonstration, let's go to any other site. And edit. I am on the wrong site. This is a classic site. Edit, and we can see that this is already available, and if I click, it will show this site URL, absolute URL, and all those details, and I will publish it. Okay, so this is it, right? As you saw, it was easy. Like in the PowerShell, we ran the command yo space at Microsoft/SharePoint so that the whole wizard starts, and we just selected in there web part and with no framework. This is after it was done, we opened it in our Visual Studio Code. All these files were available. The main folder we had to go in was src, and in there the ts TypeScript file, and in there the DOM, which was by default showing us welcome to the site, my name, all other details, and this parameter, username parameter, was already available in there. Instead of user parameter, we have also included the web parameter default and put in the absolute URL, title, relative URL, put it under the table, right? Rest all everything we removed from the DOM. All the other components within the file we left it as it is, right? It was not making any difference. And the CSS file, we customize it with our response. The main background we gave it as red with other detail like text center align, and the table that we created where we have those details, there we gave the background color yellow, and their border, margin, padding, other details, or the CSS that we put in. This is it, right? This lines 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. So this 12 line and this 10-12 line codes, this both we added, and we had our web part, SPFx web part that we used. That's it. So this is it for this video. In the next one we'll discuss about how to do the same thing but with the React. Okay, thank you.